Hi. Second the camera. So, I would like to talk about my feelings towards the MCU Avengers versus the comic book Avengers, and how I think none of them are as good as their comic book counterparts, except for 3 of them, which is Black Widow, Spider-Man, and Thor. Hope was good before Endgame. Everyone else I never really cared a whole lot about. I did care about Iron Man, I would say, and Age of Ultron and Iron Man 2, but a lot in all the other Avengers. But I can't say for the other time. Now, that's not to say that the MCU films are all bad, although some of them are bad, most of them mediocre and mixed feelings towards. I have some of them I love, so the video is going to be called Why MCU's Avengers Failed Me, if I can fit that in title, otherwise I'm going to have to come up with a better title, a short title. I don't know why, but I seen every Marvel film when the last one was Far From Home up to Far From Home, and I'm not pleased with the Avengers. I'm not attached to them like I should be, like I want to be. Now I could go on and on, but I won't. I could go on and on how the Avengers from the comics changed my life and left a huge impact on my life when I was maybe when I was first getting into comics. But I won't. Now I could go on how Captain America got butchered and now he's just winning sure the kid about no one but himself and his nostalgia, but I won't. That's MCU's Cap I'm talking about this now. And I could say how MCU's Avenger changed my life for the worse, but I won't. And how they're nothing to me compared to the comic book counterparts emotionally. except for few of them here and there. I will, like Wasp and Ant-Man were good, and Scotland Ant-Man, and yeah, they were good. They got growing attached too. I list of all the ones I wish I could list how I grow more attached to little Avengers, the small amount of Avengers versus the majority of them. I could go on how there's problems with majority of the Avengers of I haven't grown attached to, and even though I like most of the movies, I just don't love most of the movies because I don't love these versions of the character that much. Except for some of them. Select variety, I will say. Of the characters, I have a selective variety, a small selective variety. Because I feel like there's so many little problems and big problems with the Avengers, more than I can list off. Well, I can't go in detail because that would make the video too long. Instead, I would like to... That's all the words I said about the MCU's Avengers and all I can say about them. Because there's not much to say. And now I would like to say a few things about the comic version of the Avengers, which is also in every video game you ever played when the Avengers showed up, or every animated form. It has the comic book Avengers because which you see in pretty much every time you see them in video games, comics. Comics are like the ones in every video game of the Avengers, or every cartoon version of the Avengers. And I can only imagine how many people will hate this film, say I'm very fucking retarded or stupid, because I love the Avengers so much. But I'm willing to put my mental health on the line. Because my OCD since the MCU began is just driving me crazy. And I have severe OCD, really. That gets out of control each time something goes wrong. And when I first saw the first Avengers film from 2012, I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't despise it. Just somewhere in between. And that's how I feel about most films in the MCU. But some, there are exceptions. Some are just garbage. And yeah. I just don't get excited like I should. I just don't get passionate like I should. For the MCU's Avengers. Like I want to. Now, all the other the ones outside the MCU, I always got excited. I always got goosebumps whenever I saw them, and I always loved them. And even Carol Danvers. Not the Brie Larson one, the other one from the comics, Carol Danvers. Which, sorry if I'm not really excited. I want the MC10 or get a remake, as in give it a hard reboot or something, or one that I can enjoy for many years to come. Those who are not new to my channel, you know I've been hard on it in most MCUs, almost every MCU film. And the Avengers, and every Marvel character that's filmed, because Marvel was my favorite comic book company, and still is. Marvel Studios, and they're not always smart. They sometimes make stupid decisions with their iconic characters. But that's the thing, that's the funniest thing, isn't it? They're legendary characters, they're iconic characters. Even in the bad comics, I still didn't have trouble buying into them that these were the heroes I loved and grew up with. Even the Hydra Captain America, which nobody's on Hydra anymore, but nobody talks about that, so it's complicated. So when what I'm saying is that while they called themselves the Ultimates in the comics and the Ultimate issues, or the Avengers, and pretty much every issue, which I think is better titled the Avengers than the Ultimates. And the thing is, the Avengers is one of my favorite comic books, and I expect them to make my favorite movie franchise. But that didn't happen, did it? Because you would hear me saying wonderful things, otherwise you would hear me saying wonderful things about it, each one of the visuals. And how they not just look as connecting to the universe, but as a standalone story, which you don't. For either one. Most of the time, more or less. So and so I'm lost with words, because the Avengers I love, the one from the comics, is what I'm trying to say is how much I could say how much I love them, but I wouldn't do them justice if I said praise them and stuff, because there is no words to how much I am attached to each Avengers member from the comics, or also known as the Ultimate in the comic run, Ultimate Comics run, and how amazing I think each one of them is, and there's no words to describe of how much praise I could say this for that, but words wouldn't be able to describe of how much I love them or how awesome they are. And maybe we need a cinematic movie to be considered important. But I was wrong. One of the times I am wrong, because they were already important to me. Because they were a team. They were a team. And a family. So, I don't know, and they didn't take themselves that seriously, like the movies. They none of them did it that seriously, but they took the job seriously. And they would bicker, they would bicker, they would argue towards each other. But no matter how much they did, they would work together. No matter how much they would argue to each other, they would insult each other, they would come together and work together, no matter how much they argued. So, and they actually cared about each other. The ones in the comics. So I felt like they did. So I just feel like most Avengers and for the MCU treat each other like they're expendable when they're far from it. And I think that MCU's Avengers are lame because they argue, they don't work together that often. They just mostly argue, but without the working together consistently, without arguing consistently. And take themselves seriously as well as the job, so. And I don't know, that's not interesting to me. MCU's Avengers I'm talking about. But the comic Avengers, they would argue, they would always argue, or and always compliment each other, and always. They were basically a very, very dysfunctional family, which is normal for. Which is normal in my opinion. Because that's just who they were. It's just but they always come together as a team, so and work together. They always would work together. Each Avenger brought a different level of energy to the team, and because each Avenger was unique, and seeing them come together was so special to me. Seeing those unique characters, each see how each Avengers were unique, and each Avengers had different points of view, and how those things would collide and they made it, and they were a team. So I went on doing that good in this video because look, I don't really write script for any of my videos. They're all unscripted and unedited. So I basically make it up as I go along whenever I talk about something, and speak from the heart. So and that's why I thought the comic Avengers are, to me, are awesome and important to me, and why the MCU's Avengers on the big screen are, in live action, are not important to me, or special to me, or awesome to me, so, or I'm not even really that attached to them. The MCU's one, unlike the comic book ones, because they don't feel special to me. It's just, so, I don't know if I want to see an Avengers movie anymore. I mean, I might see MCU films, but I don't know if I want to keep on tuning in, because for each MCU film in theaters, I don't know, is this all there is to life? All there is to fun is just boredom and blandness? That's all there's fun to them? To them? That's all there is for fun, because I don't know, all there is to life, it seems. And it's going to go on long after I'm dead, so probably the MCU, so there's nothing I can do to stop it, and I hate it because I can't stop it, and I want to stop it. Or maybe I just need or maybe they could give me Marvel could give me a cool universe while they still want to do the MCU crap. It's like an anime form, or in a live action form, make a different universe. And I don't know. I'm just trying to find solutions to make me happy. Is that sad? Is it? Feels sad to me. All I wanted was a good Avengers franchise in movie form, and it would go on for many, many, many generations to come. But that's not going to happen, is it? So, because that's not what ended up happening, so I don't think it's going to ever happen. So, and Game was the last Avengers movie, and that wasn't. Well, I didn't deliver everything. It's more than I. It's not everything I want in an Avengers film. The best one is none of them are everything I want in an Avengers film. It's so. I mean, where's the variety? Where's the fun? Where's the life of proper color grading that brings life into the film besides the acting? So, and besides good writing, and which doesn't always happen with MCU films. Sometimes they forget a lot of what they have in previous films. So, yeah, all often. So, what I'm trying to say is I think I'm calling it quits and hoping for the best for MCU's Avengers, so they failed me, is what I'm trying to say. And they took away everything I thought was fun, and took away my favorite fun